I got too much on the line, too much on my mind, too much ain't enough of my plans. Nike don't pay me to tell you just do it, they pay me to show you I do it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Deep in the Pocket with Chris. First episode. Thank you guys for watching. I got Adrian here, owner of Adrian's Boxing Gym. Say what's up, Adrian.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on? We're gonna dive deep in it today. He's an entrepreneur here in Blythe, California, with the come up. We're gonna dive into his story and we're gonna get started. So, Adrian, introduce yourself, man. Let us know where you come from.
For sure, yeah. So Adrian is actually my middle name. My first name, Steven, and then I've always went by Adrian. For some reason, just my family coming up calling me that, and it's just stuck. So that's where Adrian comes from, man. I'm a Cali boy too. I was born up in the Bay Area, and then when I was really young, I moved to Arizona, but just right across the border from Blythe, in a small town called Quartzsite, and my grandmother lived there, dude. So we, I was like 5 or 6, man, before I moved out there, and back and forth for a while, and then finally made that permanent move to AZ in the early 90s. So I've always had that connection with Blythe because it's only a 20-minute drive across that bridge. And same thing with my family too, right? My grandparents worked in the fields here in Blythe and all up the coast. So they would stay seasonally in Blythe. Like we have, we're famous for the melons in here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we have roots in Blythe even though I wasn't born here, but several of my family members are. So just growing up in Quartzsite, we were familiar with Blythe. And then eventually I moved to Flagstaff for school, man. I went to NAU. That's why you see with the NAU shirt.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, I went to school at NAU and then I moved to Phoenix. So before here it was just Phoenix, the East Valley for several years, man. 7 years. I'd say almost 10 years, bro, in Phoenix, that Phoenix area. My parents still live just in Quartzsite, dude. So we would just always come back and visit holidays. So we always had that connection, man. So eventually found out I had a sister that lived here, bro.
Okay.
After like a long time. And my girl's family is just across the bridge in Ehrenberg. So after so long, having a couple kids, we decided to just make that move back, dude, to be closer with family. She started working at the college. It was like an easy transfer for her with her career. But when I got here, I didn't know what to do. There was really nothing for me, bro. And well, that's how like the boxing gym came along.
Okay, so
I decided to do that.
So
there's a backstory, right?
Yeah.
Before that, so I'll let you.
So, before the boxing, was that part of your life growing up, or was there other sports involved?
No, well, boxing is just a big part of the Mexican culture, right?
Yeah.
They're just hardcore on like the warriors, right? Those famous warriors. So yeah, I grew up watching Chavez and De La Hoya and Vargas and like all these big Mexican names. But that was kind of like all we watched was the Spanish ones, though. Like Friday Night Fights, Aztec, or Univision, right? And so much so that's an uncle of mine, bro, next to Tyson.
There you go.
And he was a sports anchor for Univision. So there was always like a big connection with boxing. And then my uncles and my pops, we just enjoyed boxing. But doing boxing was never a thing as a youngster, dude. We didn't have a boxing club where I lived, There was one in Blythe, but it was still like a 20-minute drive to be brought over and stuff. But where I lived, there was no boxing. So we turned to other sports, pretty much every other sport that's in school. Basketball and track, baseball, and football, and all that.
Kind of like all year round sports.
Yeah. Just trying to stay active, yeah. And like those sporty kids that just always wanted to be out. That was kind of like my crew. We played every sport. Didn't matter if you sucked at it or no good at it, but you played it anyways because the crew played, right? Like the whole gang kind of play sports, and you do it just to travel out of town and be on the sports trips and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now you said you went to college. Now, did you play sports in college?
No, man, I mean, that was a plan, right? I was really good at basketball, bro.
Okay.
That was like my thing. I was like a 6'1" point guard, just doing good. And just being from a small town, dude, a small high school, you know, those are just long shots to get like a scholarship, right?
Yeah.
So the only way would be just to walk on, man, go over there and just really do it.
Mm-hmm.
That ends up being tough too, just because of life, right? Just college life. But I did play intermediate sports, bro. I did. I was able to compete with like the college kids who were playing sports, you know, and I knew I was like on that level at times, bro. I could compete with them, right? Sometimes they get the better of me, and sometimes I get the better of them. No, but I never happened in college, bro. No.
No. Okay. When you opened up Adrian's Blythe, what year did you open this up at?
Yeah, it was like 2018.
2018.
I think when I moved here. 2018, I think. September 2018, just later in the year.
Now your vision for the gym at that time, what was the vision then, and what's your vision now?
Wow, it changes so much, right?
Yeah, it changes.
Almost overnight.
Yeah.
Well, like, dude, we'd have to go back to like when I started boxing, right?
Okay. Yeah, let's start there.
If you will, yeah, because that's just, it's crazy on its own, because I never planned on boxing, right? I had my son when I was like 28. I had him a little later, right, in life. Whatever. Some people think it's later, but I think it was just right.
It's good timing for you.
Yeah, it was a good time. Just being like a little more mature, I know that you approach things different, right? Rather being a young parent to like one who's like, you know what I mean, a little more serious already, and maybe that's what I needed, right? Because I didn't have kids till I was 28. But I was also a big sports guy, like in all sports. I was an athlete, and I caught myself kind of just being on the couch with my boy, dude, being like a couch potato. I had been working a lot though, right? So I wanted to show him that, you know, I just wanted to raise him differently, right? And be like, this isn't me, right? Your dad wasn't a couch potato. He was like actually a good athlete at one point. So I decided to join like a basketball team or a soccer team. I remember I wanted to try soccer because I was really good at soccer as well, dude. I excelled at soccer. I got a lot of medals and awards, dude, for all sports. I was well-rounded. So at that moment, I was playing in those times I was playing basketball a lot, like at a local gym and stuff like that, and on teams, and maybe getting into soccer. I found that it was hard to get a lot of people together at once, dude. Like a team sport, right?
Yeah. Get like a pickup game or something.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you could at the rec, you know, at certain times, but then if you want to get more serious, it's just, you know, I want something more serious.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what, forget this. Let's do like individual sports, right? Where it's just like one person, right?
You gotta worry about yourself.
Yeah, I don't need other people. And like boxing just was the option right off the bat. Like, well, I can go box, dude. I can go to a gym and hit a bag by myself. I don't need no, you know, if I do need a trainer, I'll pay for one or something. And then I was like, this is good, right? I'll learn to, you know, defend myself better. I can teach my son.
Yeah.
So that's really where it stemmed from. Like, let me just box a little, learn. I teach my boy, and we're good, right? So I was, like I said, I was 28, dude, and no one would even give me a chance, dude, because I was too old to box.
And this is what they were telling you.
Okay, yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is after I trained for a while, I felt like competing at least one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let me compete once and say I did it, right? Like a little goal that I had after a while of training. Let me compete once. That's it. I'll just, you know, train. I'm sure I'll gain a lot from it. So trying to compete was a hassle, dude. No one would like accept me on their fight team because I was too old. I never trained, and I kind of gave up on like trainers, dude. I just started training by myself, just like hitting the gym, watching videos, and like training right. It just so happens I was a good enough athlete to compete, man, to like really hang in there because I'll start sparring a little, like at gyms and do good and stuff like that. And finally, dude, I met a guy who introduced me to my coach now. And I go over to the gym and start training with like a whole bunch of guys. And he's able to get me a fight within like 3 weeks through a local fight league, dude. And I fight once and I just fall in love with it, dude. I win, right? It's like this no decision, adrenaline rush. I win one, I'm like, sign me up in 2 months, you know what I mean, for the next one. And I go back in 2 months, I go back in 2 months and I fight again. And it's like, dude, the rush is crazy, right? Like jumping out of planes or something.
Yeah, and at this point, are you killing it? At this point, are you like loving it? You falling in love with it?
Yeah. I'm training like 3 times a day, bro. I mean, like strength training, conditioning or whatever. I'll do my road work, and then I'll go back and train. And it just, things in life kind of just lined up at the moment with like work, dude. I was able to start a small business. I had been working most of the days. She went back to work, whatever. However the schedule worked out where I was pretty much free a lot, dude, and still be able to, you know, make money. So I invested it in boxing. It did, dude. I was kind of like, you know, not more than addicted, just nothing but boxing, right? For like 6 months. I fought a couple times, and then after that, my coach at the time moved to Tucson, dude. So I had to take a break of like a year, right?
Yeah.
But the other coach that was there, we linked up when he got his own gym, and we were right back at it, man. And then I went like 3-0, 4-0. And then like I think after 5-0, the league that we were fighting through was like, we'll give you a shot for like this belt that they had against like a well-recognized fighter, man. And by this time I hadn't really gotten tested anyways. Dude, I take the dude out and I get like this little local belt at 147, and then I get invited to like a really big promotion, you know, with who are doing these fights and stuff like that. Dude, I don't know, things are looking up, 7-0. Fighting 8-0, I lose a decision, bro, you know?
Yeah.
But after that, it was so close where that's when we moved to Blythe. So I went like 7-1 just in those few years, and then I moved here, and that's how this came to be, bro. Because when I got here, it's like, what am I gonna do? You know, like where am I gonna work? There was no boxing gym here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, do you remember the last time you seen a boxing gym?
I don't. I remember there wasn't one by the rec center.
The same one.
But I never actually went in there. So by the time they had it already closed.
It was already closed.
It was already closed by the time like.
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember that it was there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but that's what like all I hear about. You know, great memories, and I actually produced champion boxers, bro. You know, like pro boxers.
Yeah.
A lot of good boxers came out of that gym. But I guess it's been closed for like 10 years when I got here or something like that, and there was nowhere to train. There was fighters around, you know, having to travel to Parker or Havasu or Yuma, who knows.
Just to train?
Yeah, just to train a little bit. I remember when I'd come down, I would have to just train like outside, you know, like Rocky, you know, pick up a couple bricks and go running and hang a bag under a tree and try to hit it and stuff. That's how this came to be, man. I had to do something, bro. Shopped around a little bit when we got here for a facility.
And then at that point, when you said, hey, I'm going to open up a gym, and you decided on the location, when you first opened it, what was the vision for it at that time?
Okay, so I only trained boxing, right? That was it, dude.
Yeah.
I know we got jiu-jitsu shirts on right now.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, but at that time it was just boxing, dude. I had no ground game. My coach is actually a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well. He's like a pro kickboxer, pro boxer. He got his black belt in jiu-jitsu. He was just a well-rounded guy. He would get you ready for war, man. We used to have big camps, a lot of fighters. And we all had belts, dude. I mean, there's some pictures floating around of like a crew of us at one time, just
all belts,
straps, dude. Yeah. And so at the time it was just boxing, dude. All I could really do was boxing. I started training little Griffin Callahan, through a friend of the family, a guy named Wesley introduced little Griff. Well, I say little grip because he was little then.
Yeah,
dude.
at the time.
At the time, yeah, he's not little no more. You know, like youngsters grow faster, teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
So he looked like a puny little kid, but in my garage, holding mitts, man, I used to have a couple of these bags, but I had a lot of like starting equipment, enough to start something small.
Yeah.
Cause my garage was like a little home gym with Griff, and more people just heard of me. You know what I mean? So it was just boxing in the beginning. I was like, yeah, I can make these guys have good hands, good boxing IQ. You know, I can have them hit, not get hit, defend themselves, right? So that was just the plan. Just to have a good place to train for the community right here. And myself, right? Because I still compete, I was still fighting. I'm like, I want to have a place to train, and then we'll open it up. And I think the kids' classes started to be a thing, like, well, we should teach younger kids to box, right?
Yeah.
So we started the youngsters and then the teenagers, and now like adults, and it's just grown from there, right? But I mean, now what do you see? It ain't just boxing no more, huh?
Yeah, it's not just boxing. You come here on a Monday, it's boxing, but you come here on Tuesday, it's kickboxing, and throughout the week, it's just progressing into different avenues. You're getting jiu-jitsu, you're getting MMA, then you're just doing it all. And
Yeah,
you guys
it's
are just in here
crazy,
putting in the time, putting in the hours just to train.
Yeah, so the evolution, I think, of the gym came after the close down of COVID, bro.
Okay.
Because I think we were cooped up for just a little too long. And I remember personally, so let's go back. Jiu-Jitsu started a couple years ago, training a couple MMA guys, and we lost some fights on the ground. And I was just, you know what I mean, like, what do I? Hopefully they were getting the wrestling, and then, you know, we were trying to roll here as much as they could. The guys who knew how to roll a little bit would roll. Swear to God, I was just on the sidelines, bro. You know what I mean? Kind of like, I don't know. But after losing a couple of fights, I was like, you know what, dude? We got to learn this. Yeah, something's got to give, dude. We got to learn this jiu-jitsu stuff a little bit, bro.
Okay.
And Dakota found a gym for us in Yuma, bro. And we were like, all right, well, let's just start going, you know? Found the schedule, you know what? There's Friday evenings. This is years back, and we're still on a Friday evening trip to Yuma, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Friday evening, ever since then, even before it's called Aztec now, it was called Ascent then, and it was like a group of black belts that would train, dude, like on different days. I'm not sure how they did it. They finally, after COVID, same thing, they were just like, you know what, we're gonna go our own ways, do our own thing, they gave it to our coach now, Jason, or like, you know, let him take a hold of it and do what he wanted with it. He renamed it. So jiu-jitsu came from there a couple years back. We had to help our guys on the ground. So
Yeah.
I figured, you know, hands and jiu-jitsu, we get a good base of like at least the MMA portion. But after COVID, we came back and we were like, you know what, we want all the smoke. We want to do everything.
Yeah, you do it all.
Yeah, even me, I'm like, you know, I was just cooped up for so long. Like, you know, I want to kick, I want to do everything. So, just a month ago, bro, it must have been a year that we started that schedule that you're speaking of.
Yeah.
Where it's like Monday boxing, Tuesday kickboxing, Wednesday jiu-jitsu. And then leading up to Thursday, we put it all together for MMA, you know?
Yeah.
We've been on that for a year. We've had good success, dude. And you hear about all our stories and stuff. I know we can't win them all, bro, but you hear what we can do, what we've been doing at other gyms and stuff.
Now your plan for like the future, do you plan on expanding or do you plan on building something more here? Mm-hmm. And with the team that you have right now, what are your plans for them? What do you see for them?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the building, you know, I mean, California's rent's crazy, dude.
It's crazy, right?
California rent's crazy. So, like, moving has always been a big if. The original owners of the location, like, gave me a good deal. They let me use a yard, which we throw competitions here,
yeah.
Man. You know, that's like, it's just like, I don't know if I could trade this unless I really invested in me, right? Like if it was my property, my money. Until then, I don't know if I can leave this location, right? Just because of all the, you know.
Yeah, and it's a good location you have there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest, right? We do what we can with the space. But like I said, we get to use the yard. There's a big yard that's fenced in where we can have our, you know, I mean, we work out there. We do everything out there. So as far as the location here, I mean, until I buy a building or something like that, a big move, I say it would be here. But multiple gyms, you know, those are just small goals that slowly started, you know, coming to like my mind, sleeping, I don't know, these thoughts of like, what if I do open another gym, you know what I mean? But I think we have to work on it, like a resume, like build, right? Like build this name first. So before I get too ahead, it's back there in the back of my mind.
Now you spoke on doing the events out in the yard out there.
Yeah.
Do you plan on doing any more this year? I know you had one just a few months ago, an event out there. Do you plan on doing any more?
Yeah, dude. Heck yeah. October.
October.
So right now it's what? Tomorrow's August 1st?
Yeah.
August, September. So we're thinking like October 10th. We already have the date set up for it, yeah. We have, I'm not sure, you weren't able to make the last one, right?
No.
Yeah, so the boxing in the ring out there, we had a ring outside, there's boxing and kickboxing. But we also had mats down, dude, where they rolled jiu-jitsu. And that was a first. That's cool. Recently got more mats and more space. So
the mats look great out there.
Yeah, dude, we got new mats with like logos. Like, it's just been growing, right? You've seen the gym change.
Yeah.
How long do you think you've been coming?
I started in, I would say March.
March.
It was around March, maybe beginning of April.
Yeah, okay. Good
And
5-6 months then.
I mean, if anybody that's watching this that knows me personally, see me personally, I came into Adrian's boxing gym at 258 pounds. Adrian got me down to 228 pounds, and that's where I'm sitting at right now. So if you guys are looking to train and looking to get better as far as with your hands and in jiu-jitsu and just overall health, just come see Adrian and he'll take care of you.
That's a lie. He got himself there because he came, because he drove over here, and the biggest step is getting here, right? Just getting at your house.
Every day.
Once you're here, it's cake, man. I mean, it's hard work, but once you're here, you're here, right? It's just like the groove of things, you fall in love with it.
Yeah.
The hardest part is getting here. But you've seen it change so much, I bet, since then. The competition has changed. Our first one was just boxing, bro. We had like 11 fights out there. 250 people. Blythe hadn't had an event since the 80s or something, dude.
Yeah.
They haven't had boxing since the 80s. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But Blythe has a rich boxing history, dude. Which,
Yeah, they do.
man, we can go down that rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, let's speak on it.
Like old time boxers like Archie Moore and like his young, you know, Archie Moore's like an old historical boxer, like old school, right? If you look him up, his footage is probably black and white. But he's young, you bring his little prospects to come up here. And like one of our prospects, I think it was Richard Serrato, he repped our fights out here.
Oh, okay.
As an amateur, like busted him up, you know. And I remember Archie Moore, because this is all, you know, hearsay. And then some he's a man as hell, right? Like, damn, thinking they come out here. But they used to have pro boxing matches at the fairgrounds, dude. A lot of pros would come through here. A lot of pros were made here, right? WBC champs, and like even from the 90s, there's a couple pictures out there floating around of dudes with like pro belts, man. And it faded away. And it's so rich where I guess the boxing historian I talked to, he's like 80 plus years old, bro. He tells me Coachella used to borrow our ring for fights. We'd take it over there
And they would use it.
and then use it, right? Like that's how back in the day we're talking. But if you think about the valley right there, India, like that's the mecca for boxing, dude. Like they come out of all those cities, dude, and they're pretty badass boxers, dude.
Yeah.
All the time, like the pros are on TV all the time from there, dude. Like Coachella, what's the other ones?
The surrounding cities.
Yeah, the surrounding
You
cities.
got
La Quinta.
You got La Quinta.
You have a few from La Quinta,
You have
Indio,
Thermal.
you know, and they go on, right? I mean, I think Cub Swanson, the MMA cat's from. He has a UFC gym there too, or his brother, but there's a lot of like badass fighters, dude. So the history here is rich too. And Blythe with boxing, they would house the fighters here and have a fight. You know what I mean?
And they
like
would
on
train.
the circuits and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, dude. And that's, you know, I would love to hear more about that. We gotta talk to that guy next. For
Yeah,
that,
let's
for
do
that
that.
interview, huh?
We'll do that interview. Now, you represent Cali Top Team here at Adrian's Boxing Gym. Can you talk to me about your prospects you have on your team right now?
Cali Top Team, yeah, man. Let's clear that up real quick, right? Because there's a lot of top teams.
Yeah.
Well, my coach's gym was Arizona AZ Top Martial Arts University. You call it that, right? Because you would teach like everything. AZ Top Martial Arts. So he would say AZ Top Team all the time, right? But I was just a boxer and I didn't know about like American Top Team or Brazilian Top Team. You know what I mean? Like the big names in MMA. I didn't know about those dudes, right? So we were just AZ Top Team, never heard about nothing else. So when we moved out here, we were like, what are we gonna call our fight team?
Yeah.
Not just the gym, right? But we have like boxing and jiu-jitsu and MMA. But what are we gonna call the team that like actually travels and competes, right?
Yeah.
The fight team. And just to give tribute to the coach. So that's where Cali Top Team came from, dude. And it's cool. I mean, it's on the freaking logo now.
Yeah.
It became a thing. And then the MMA fighters, in the beginning it was like Brooks and Bryce and Sean. And for just MMA, I think it was Sean. Just those three, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if anybody else competed in MMA, but those three ones were the ones who really pushed Cali Top Team doing their MMA fights and stuff like that. And then when jiu-jitsu came around and boxing and all the ones that we decided to travel on, we just kind of went with it too, right? Out of Adrian's Boxing Gym, representing Cali Top Team. Whatever they announced. You heard it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cali Top Team. So, and a couple of guys are still active, dude. Bryce and Brooks still, just competed, man. Had some tough losses, but like I said, you can't win them all, right? Freaking last year he's undefeated and the next year he's not. That's how it goes. But as far as prospects, I mean, I have like that crew you see, and now that the fights are opening up and stuff like that, we're hitting the road. I'm sure Bryce and Brooks, I think Brooks is already lining up another fight for November.
Yeah, November, I believe.
Yeah. So I'm sure we're gonna grind that out, and make those adjustments and fix stuff we need to fix just to get back on track. And Bryce too. I mean, they're just young. It's just amateur loss, no big deal. Xavier, dude, the youngster, he's about 17 or something like that. And I've had him compete a few times. He's about to be an adult, what I'm trying to say, to like up the level of comp,
Yeah.
So they're all young prospects, dude. Even Griff. Seems like anyone you've met on our team is gonna be competing or coming up. Griff as well. Dude stays active, stays wrestling. Me and Griff just went to Ukaipa and did jiu-jitsu. X2, dude. X, all three of us.
Yeah.
We just went and did jiu-jitsu, man. And we had like, a good outcome. Even my youngster, my little one went. Getting the little ones going young too.
That's good. Yeah, you start them young, so by the time they come of age, they already have all that experience under them.
Yeah, Griffin Callahan and Xavier Herrera and little Eli. Dakota Webb, right? Dax.
Yeah, Dax.
Yeah, he competed not too long ago out in
Yeah, he did a jiu-jitsu tournament, right? In
Yeah.
Huntington, right? Huntington Beach.
Yeah, Huntington Beach, exactly.
In Huntington Beach.
Yeah, dude, and he won his first match and
Yeah.
did good, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it was cool, bro. Remember we all went out to Yuma and competed. There was like 8 of us. So like any given time, we might go out 8 of us, deep. Or if not, it's a couple here, a couple there. But I guess those are all the prospects right now, right? Am I forgetting anybody? No.
No, I think you touched on everything.
Yeah, people competing. But then we also have the youngsters that we got sparring right now,
And they're leveling up right now.
Yeah,
as we
they're
speak.
just like in training in this little time chamber and don't have the time to shine. We have classes like the new guy, you know, like I don't know, couple new guys that come. We train them for a while. They level up. They become a part of the team. That's how it goes.
Sounds good. Well, it looks like we're running out of time here. So, thank you guys for watching. Remember, we're going to be uploading every week with a new prospect, entrepreneur, or just somebody that's very interesting to talk to. Thank you for watching the first episode with Adrian.
Nice.
And until next time, stay deep in the pocket.
Just to advance, the bezel is Tiffany stamp. Don't grip on my hand. I know that I came with the slide from left to right, but now I don't wanna dance. I got